Hey, it's Dr. Karin. Many believe that we live in a dark age, or at least an age experiencing profound, sometimes discomforting shifts in technology and consciousness. I want to talk in this video about what I perceive as the spiritual truths of our modern age and how we as individuals can assist with the energetic awakening we're currently going through. Let's go. So my guess is if you clicked on this video, you're in some stage of your own spiritual awakening. And here's something that is so cool to know. So you chose to be here at this exact time, going from a spiritual being into your human body, because you are here at a time where we're having the most exponential growth that we've ever experienced on this earth planet. This time that you've chosen to be here, I've heard in the spiritual teaching world that we were actually lined up in line around the earth, waiting to get in here, waiting to get bodies to come here, to be here. So while it's true that we all chose to be here, not everybody is going to be ascending, not everybody is going to be going up the ladder into higher consciousness, because what also happens when we're here is we have free choice. Our soul has a journey that it wants to go on, and you're here to grow and to go through this shift of consciousness and to awaken into the beautiful life that's waiting for you, but you also have free will, and the choice is completely up to you. So what happens as we shift is we go through these stages from going from 3D to 4D to 5D consciousness. Now, what is that? So 3D consciousness is kind of like the earth that you were born into. It's a very black and white way of being. It's the way that we've been like for thousands of years, where there's a lot of good and evil and competition, and we're always living in fear, and someone's overpowering us. And there's a lot of suffering in that 3D world. There's a lot of comparing yourself to others. There's a lot of one against the other. There's a lot of separation, okay? So that's 3D experiencing. And what we're going into right now, the state that we're in, is 4D, four-dimensional awareness. When those of us that have chosen to go through higher levels of consciousness and we're taking steps to evolve as spiritual beings, you're starting to question things. You're looking around and you're like, wow, because the shit is going down out there. It's like things aren't the way that they were taught to me when I was younger. The church, the government, the financial system, the medical system, the pharmaceutical systems, all the systems, right? We're looking at it now and we're finding out that things, maybe the way that they were established, maybe the way that they've been operated for hundreds or thousands of years, has been operated under a way that no longer can exist in the new paradigm that we're going into. That is why things feel so challenging right now, because anything that has been in the dark, anything that has been kept under, that has an element of darkness to it, an element of control, an element of manipulation, an element of trying to control people, to have a gain of power for certain individuals or systems. These higher levels of consciousness that are coming onto the planet in waves, they're coming as solar flares off the sun, they're coming from within all of us, we're having new DNA codes activated. There is so much happening right now. And so what is happening is any darkness, anything that's been held in the dark, is bubbling up and being brought into the light. And it's painful. It is a very painful experience that we're going through, because we're seeing that likely we've been lied to, we've been manipulated, and we've been controlled. And we're having a shift in consciousness that is going towards a more loving world. But to get there, we have to go through this purging of the darkness as it's transmuted and alchemized and brought into the light. But it is a process. Hang in there. Nobody knows how long we're going to be going through it. But I've already heard talk about the fact that new earth is already upon us, that there's already kind of a split, and you can feel it in consciousness, that there is kind of an old earth which is adhering to this 3D, dense, competitive, separate mindset that's all about suffering, that's all about power and control, that still goes with the old narratives, right? And we're going through 4D, the questioning, the changing, the waking up. And then what's happening is new earth is splitting off and going into more of a 5D consciousness, which is where I'm headed. I hope I'm headed there. That's where my goal is to go as I'm evolving. I would love to have you go there with me, but let me explain what that shift kind of feels like. So it's really kind of the opposite of what 3D consciousness is. As we're going through this transformational stage right now, the 5D consciousness is wrapped around collaboration, oneness, a sense that we're all from the same source. It's about us residing in love, peace, all those high vibrational feelings. There's joy, there's collaboration, and in the way that we exchange products and finances and the way that we operate. The government systems are different. It's just much more collaborative, and it's not about power one over the other, but things are going to be changing. I don't know exactly how that's going to look, but I do know that the financial systems, the government systems, and all of those things are going to find a way for those of us that choose to live in environments and cultures and places where this is how it's operating. It's going to look totally different, okay? And so that is the shift that we're going through as we're going into 4D and 5D consciousness. So you've got two kind of layers to consider here. You have your own private personal journey of awakening, of ascension, of evolution, right? That is all yours. It's unique to you. Your soul came here and chose all these soul contracts with all these people and systems and all these experiences that you've gone through. It's all been in soul contract to help you grow and evolve and awaken just like you are right now. The other layer of it is the collective transformation. So you're here to have this awakening on your own, but the beautiful thing that's happening is that your vibration, your ascension into higher frequencies is also contributing to the collective ascension of the planet. Not everyone's going to be coming with you or us. Not everyone's going to want to go through this growth. For some people, it's just going to be too hard or it doesn't align with them. And the great thing about being in these higher levels of consciousness is we no longer want to judge them. They get to have their own free will and they can stay in whatever state of mind they want to stay in. Just know that your frequency and your decisions to raise your hand and keep working on yourself and growing and evolving is making a difference to this entire planet's collective growth. And also, if you can get into groups, like I have groups that gather in Atlanta, I'm going to have a Wild Wonder retreat. I have groups that gather virtually. Whenever you can gather with groups, you're actually accelerating that evolutionary process. You're accelerating the vibration and the frequency within you and within the group because you're joining together and there's a more expanded experience. So anytime you can have a chance to get within a group, whether you're meditating or focusing on a new vision that you want for, your community or the planet, you're going through healing exercises, breath work, I would encourage you to participate in that because that will serve you very well along your awakening journey. So as you're evolving and as we're evolving collectively, as you can see when I talked about things that are kept in the dark or bubbling up, what they're bubbling up for is to be transmuted and brought into the light. And the process for that is called alchemy. It's being alchemized. The process of alchemy is back in the Seiji days, back when they would transform metals that weren't worth very much into gold. So that is transforming something that doesn't seem to have much value, which is pain and suffering or things that are no longer serving us, into something that has value. Back in those days, it was perceivably gold. So that metaphor in your life means that, so I was saying collectively for the planet, we are alchemizing the old into something new that is working for us. We're transmuting it. We're transforming it into something that is more in alignment with the way that we really want to operate as spiritual beings. And you, my friend, right now are probably having some really, really tough stuff come up in your life. If you're here and you raised your hand on this awakening journey, right now you're probably going through one of the toughest times you've ever gone through, especially the last 3 years as all this stuff has really, really intensified. I'm offering you compassion and I want you to know that you are not alone. But any old wounding that you haven't healed, and likely a lot of this is ancestral wounding, that you are probably called here, if that resonates with you, to heal so you stop generational wounds and curses and all that stuff. You have the choice now to alchemize it through your body. So that might look like the agreement of suffering, the agreement of abuse, the agreement of being treated poorly or toxic relationships or living in poverty or whatever it is that maybe generations before you agreed to. You're here to alchemize that and change things for your life, for future generations. And as I was saying, you also are contributing to the healing of the planet as a whole. So what does that look like? In my own personal journey, as my shit has come up so huge the past few years, like it has been dark night of the soul after dark night of the soul, and I'm going through another one right now. And I know the wounding that's coming up. So for me personally, it's around self-worth, it's around fear of abandonment, it's around being treated abusively. And as those experiences have come up again, I get to decide if I'm going to do my healing. So I've gone to shamans, I've gone to Reiki healers, I've really committed to my meditation practice. I've learned how to work with my own chi energy in my own hands. I've learned how to move energy through my body by expressing it emotionally. And I've learned how to let go of the past and move into the future by doing all the practices like envisioning a better future for myself, embracing higher vibrational feelings, really leaning into the life that I desire by attaching myself and embodying the future me that I really want. So all of those things are practices that you can do to heal and alchemize those things that are coming up, because I know you're going through it. Just know that all that you're going through is serving a purpose. All of it is going to serve to contribute to your soul's growth, and all of of it is the reason that you're here. So if all this material is really lighting you up and you're very aware that you're part of this collective ascension, you're my people. And I would love for you, first of all, to like this video because that really helps me get this out to more of our people. But if you want to hear all this leading edge content as Spirit is giving it through me, click the subscribe button so you can get all the new videos as they drop. Let's get back to this video. Now, one of the really cool spiritual truths that I have found to be so quantum level, awesome, badass right now is you actually have the opportunity to pick your timeline. We are accessing such high frequencies, even in this year, this month alone. There are so many solar flares coming off the sun, and we're activating all this new solar energy, and it is amplifying more than ever before on this planet, an energetic activation that has never occurred here before. Believe me, all of the universe's eyes are on the earth right now. We're going through a major significant growth plate. So you're here for that reason. And in that right now, what's happening is with all that activation, you're activating DNA codes in your body that have been latent. You don't have to activate them if you don't want to activate them. I do all kinds of experiences with people where we activate on special days when the energies are really high. So stay tuned for those because I'm always offering them. But what we're doing is we're awakening DNA codes in our body through light codes that we're receiving from universal forces that are waking up our awareness, our intuition, our skills, our spiritual gifts, all right? The way to tune into spirit. Maybe it's tuning into being able to see spirit, being able to work with energy. You have access to so much knowledge and wisdom and clarity and power that we've never had before. And if you want to embrace this and activate it within your own body, participate in light code activation ceremonies. I do them all the time again, so always look for those. But if you are doing that, you are contributing to this ascension of your spirit body. And what I talked about before is you also get to pick your timeline. So in this new activation, you've heard the word manifesting. It's kind of been around for a while, but you can manifest on a quantum level now by literally picking the timeline that you choose to activate. Because as we know right now, there are so many timelines that are possible. I think we are jig-jagging all over them collectively. Like sometimes we dip, sometimes we raise, but because so many of us are waking up and tuning into higher frequencies, we have actually been pulling the planet, the United States timeline specifically, out of like the dark agendas and into higher timelines. We've done that collectively by focusing on love and hope and light and bringing healing to the planet. And by the way, I have a video on this. If you want to look down in the description section of this video, you will see a video where I talk about how to pick your timeline through quantum level manifestation. So I go into a lot of detail in that video. So if you want more on that, click it down in the description. But you can envision and choose the timeline that you want to activate and literally streamline yourself to that timeline. And by doing so, again, you are contributing to the energetic leap of the planet, the energetic activation of the planet, and your calling for being here is being activated and fulfilled by you. So congratulations for being on this journey. I hope that these truths have helped to activate you and help you to know how much power you have. I'm super passionate about this topic because I feel like my calling here, since I'm feeling so much activation, even though it's been dark night of the soul time, the activation that is coming through each time I alchemize, each time I go through the gut-wrenching walk through the fire stage like I'm going through right now, I know and I can tell you on the other side, you're going to be activated at such a higher level that you are going to be so limitless. There's going to be nothing that you can't do. We just have to get ourselves to the place where we believe it, because then the collective of the planet rises with us. All right, I'm glad to be on this journey with you. I hope these techniques inspired you to stay in your power on a daily basis and ascend into the limitless being you were meant to be. So if you got really activated as I was talking about the awakening journey and what's happening on the planet right now, and you want some more information because you're like, wait, I have some more questions. I recently dropped a very, very informative 3-part free audio series called The Trifecta of Transformation, where I talk about in 3 different podcasts, the 3 stages of awakening, and I unpack all the things that happen to you, all the things that you can do to streamline your awakening process. It's there to help you on your way. I love guiding you through your awakening. Click the link below to get the Trifecta of Transformation and watch yourself grow.